If you're Indian and you're about to move to Dubai, there's a 95% chance that you're about to get fatter. With over 4,000 millionaires leaving India to different expatriate countries and Dubai being number one, we're going to avoid all of that fat gain in just this one video. And if you're wondering who I am, I'm Nathan Johnson, founder of Autonomy. I have the only Indian and South Asian specific online coaching company here in Dubai and worldwide, and I've been working with the South Asian and Indian community for the last 7 years. So let's break down why you're about to be fatter. So problem number one, when you're looking at moving to Dubai, is your routine changes completely. Doesn't matter if you have the best routine, the best system, the best accountability. When you move here, everything changes completely. You're gonna go from stable to having all of these other things to do. When I came over, you had everything from your Emirates ID, getting a car, getting school sorted, getting an apartment sorted, bank account details. Everything is just up in the air, which means you're quite unpredictable in nature. So when you're unpredictable, the last thing you think about is food, which means you go for quick and easy options, and that's why eating out becomes so easy over here, and that's when the weight starts to go up. Second problem is that you have no gym and no exercise routine. So you don't know what gym to go to, you don't know where to do your exercise. So here's a quite simple way that you can avoid the weight gain and inconsistencies around your gym. You need a few things. You need to find a luxury gym, and the easiest way to do that is try a bunch. So you're gonna get the app called Privily, if I've spelt it correctly, where you can try a bunch of gyms at lots of different places. Some of my best gyms that I would recommend is Fitcode and Tel Aviv. You can even go to a membership at the Jumeirah hotels, which are luxury hotel gyms. You've got your own hotel gyms if you're living at apartments or a hotel for the short duration of time. And then you have males, you can go to Oxygen Gym as the best gym in Dubai for equipment and improving strength and muscle building. For females, you can go to Fit and Glam, which is in Dubai Hills, which is a female only gym that services just females, and it's a really good environment, so I've heard. And therefore you've got your luxury and you can try a bunch of different things, but the speed of which you do this is so important. You don't want to let this routine, this lack of up in the air mentality affect your ability to take action. So the easiest thing you can do is get Privily straight away, go to the gym in the closest area. And that's another problem with the routine, is about radius. A radius to everything. So that's to food, that's to gym, that's to lifestyle, that's to experiences. You're going to be spending a lot of time in the area, in the presence of food availability. So you're going to have lots of easy options, delivery options, services that you can just grab food and go, which can be a blessing and a curse, which we can speak about later. But if you're not used to that, maybe you're from a small town in India, maybe you're from the US, maybe you're in the UK where you haven't had this access, this radius is going to be a blessing for your ability to go to the gym, for your ability to get nutritious food, but it's also going to take some getting used to, because the first thing you're going to see is KFC, Taco Bell, and Raising Cane's, which is then super high calorie foods. You're going to then have higher calories, gain more fat. So when you move over, you might not have access to your chef, your cook, or even just your usual routine of your grocery store. When I was in the UK versus Dubai, I would drive to the shop or Asda, Walmart on a Sunday, get my week's shopping, and then drive back for the week ahead. When I moved in London, I would then get Tesco delivery to the house. Whereas in Dubai, I've been here for like 7 years, and I think I've been a supermarket twice in 7 years. Everything gets delivered to the house. I don't even see it get put in the fridge. Everything is absolutely, completely done for you. But it's understanding what routine you need to have and having food decisions. So instead of looking at eating out all the time, which will be super easy for you to do, you want to think about, how can I guarantee 80% of my food in a week being good? And how do I then allow for 20% of getting carried away, socializing, having a great time? But we need to focus on not letting 100% of the time go to 100% of acting crazy around food and eating and letting things go, especially when you first come over. So the easiest way that you want to look at food 80% of the time is calorie controlled, CC, calorie controlled, either from yourself, from making a meal plan and cooking it yourself or having a maid to do it, or CC, calorie controlled, in terms of meal prep companies where you can guarantee the calories that are going to be on this. Because ultimately, 80% of the time you need to not think about food, but you need to eat good, as opposed to gaining weight and thinking about food all the time. The easiest ways that you can do this around meal prep is two options. You have the meal prep companies that bring food to your house and deliver it fresh every single day to the calories that you want. 4 meals a day, 3 meals a day, whatever your preferences are, vegan, vegetarian, Indian, food, traditional stuff, more like westernized food, anything you want, they're ready there. There's an app called Hundo where you can literally go on and you can pick different meal prep companies and try different ones for just a week. And that is just at the fingertips. Alternate to the meal prep companies where you get the food delivered to the house, you can just go in Deliveroo and type in the word calories and just make sure it's under a set amount. 500 for a main meal, 300 for a breakfast, 300 for a snack. You won't go too far wrong there. You've got my favorite place, which is Heat, and there's various other things like Fuel Up, under 500. You can get pizzas, burgers, all under 500 calories that are gonna keep you staying on track 80% of the time when your routine is up in the air. Leading on from this, still in this routine category, is you're gonna end up looking and feeling like a potato because Dubai, unless you want to move and you make effort to move, you're going to do zero movement. So you have to treat steps and that activity the same way that you would do in the winter and it was snowing, or like you're busy at a desk for 12, 13 hours a day. You have to be intentional. So you have to put it into your routine. So start your day, move your ass. So that I would do 5K steps before you've had breakfast, before you do anything in the morning to box it off. And equally, I still do this to this day. I do 5K in the morning or 45 minutes in the morning. And then in the evening, I finish my day with 5K steps or more, depending on if I'm feeling fruity or I'm going to see the sunset and a beautiful little walk around Kite Beach, for example, or Blue Waters. This way, you're not letting it happen by chance. As soon as it starts to get the weather like it is right now, where it's middle of June, which means it's hot as shit, and it's only going to get hotter in July and August, so therefore it's going to be less time spent outside, more uncomfortable. So having a routine that doesn't rely on outside is going to mean that you burn calories by walking, making up for maybe some of the extra stuff that you're having, as well as having that mental clarity, that physical activity, which means that you aren't sitting like a potato 7 days a week gaining that Dubai stone. And if you live in an apartment, when you first come over, there is zero excuses. I can walk downstairs or get a lift downstairs by 15 floors and tap a button and be walking on a treadmill in less than 30 seconds. So the barrier to entry in Dubai is actually way lower, but you still have to actually put effort in to make it happen. And with your routine, the last thing that you need to think about is what to avoid. The other things are what I want you to put in and to navigate and change, but what you need to avoid is a little bit different. The whole concept of when you come over, there's lots of things to consider. There's lots of things that you're going to be doing. You're going to be overwhelmed, mentally confused, probably also wanting to live your best life too. So we want to avoid, with your health and fitness, doing zero. That's the most important, is that it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be 7 sessions a week. It doesn't have to be like it was back in Mumbai, Delhi, the UK, or the US. It just has to not be zero, because going from 0 to 1 in terms of effort is so much harder than going from 1 to 10, because momentum takes you from 1 to 10, and 0 to 1 is literally like hard ass graft and just like fortitude of doing something and making sure that you put high levels of effort in. So it's easier to keep the momentum going even if you're doing less. As well as that, you want to avoid the process of starting next week. You think, right, next week I'm going to have my Emirates ID done, and next week I'm going to have my bank account done, next week I'm going to get my driver, next week I'm going to be better because this week has been a busy week. Avoiding starting next week and just doing as much as you can do, as much as possible now, so that we're not rolling on. The amount of people that I see gain these 8 to 10 kilos, gain 15 kilos, but yet they're still out partying every single weekend, they're still living their best life and not doing anything about it, is because they're saying, oh, when I get over this first 6 months, when I get more settled in Dubai, it's always a holiday. You're not gonna feel settled like that. It's always a holiday. It's always better than where you were beforehand. So you need to settle into a routine and still have a nice time too. And then the last thing is like waiting for a period of time. So like wait till summer is over. That's the big one right now. Oh, well, I'm just going away for the summer, or we've got these weddings to go to. I'll just wait till after the summer to really get back into Dubai and then really get back into my training or my nutrition. You can still do all that stuff now, and it's not going to change any direction of your fun, enjoyment, or your ability to do these things. So don't wait till the summer, because next summer it's going to happen again. But then before you know it, it'll be Diwali, and before you know it, it'll be Christmas, and before you know it, it's Eid and it's Ramadan, and all of these things that might potentially get in your way. Let's just do it all the way through. Let's do less than 0. You don't need to do everything, but just don't stop. And that starts with you not letting yourself wait till the summer. So tick, let's not do that. But now you're in a routine. You've got your MSID, you're laughing, you've got your house sorted, your kids are in school, you've got your maid, you're also going to the gym, you found your right place to go to, and you're here. And then you're still gaining weight. And this is why Dubai Stone really solidifies as one of the OG things that happens as a predictable variable. Because Dubai is social plus choice equals worst version of ourselves. Worst version. Because we end up just eating in excess, and we also have multiple choices. If you look at the desis who have come from the US, first generation Indian going to the US, working in tech in San Francisco, what you'll see is these individuals, they come over and they fly over and they land in San Francisco, where their experiences in India have been like home cooked food, maybe socializing 2 to 3 times a week. And then they end up in this world and land of opportunity of the US, where you've got Uber Eats at the door, and you've got takeaways over here. Then you've got Thirsty Thursdays, which is where work people go out and they go and get drunk. And then you've got to adapt to the food that you're not used to. And then you've got making friends. Then you've got dating. Then you've got loneliness, for example. And then you've got anything in between, paddle, whatever you want to do. And this person gets exposed to all of these things coming from an environment where probably he's with his family members and he's in a new environment altogether. So when you have the ability that you have to date and you have to make friends and you have to, eat different foods and you have to, I don't know what I wrote there, go to Thirsty Thursdays, are a bit more lonely, and you're doing all of these things, of course your calorie intake, your ability to eat more food is probably going to happen, because you're not used to any of these as a skill set, as a habit. Because everything we do when it comes to our choices, our brains, is habit and lifestyle related. So if you've not practiced it, you'll be shit at it, and that's okay. But this is why people gain weight, when socializing and choice becomes a lot bigger and a lot greater than it's ever been before. The reason why Dubai Stone is so prevalent is because of this. The dollar sign. When you come to Dubai, it's very different to anywhere else in the world, because you're coming here as a reward for your efforts. You get to come here, you're tax-free now, 5% corporation tax, and you get more benefits by just making the decision. Which means that most people who come here who get the Dubai Zone are in what we call perma-holiday. They are living a semi-retired lifestyle, even though they're living their best life, probably earning more money than they have done before. And what comes with rewards, what comes with permanent holidays and feeling like you're in summer all of the time, is a feeling of excess. We all love excess. We always love to experience everything to the best of our abilities. We now have access to the best restaurants, the best food, the best beach clubs, the best materialistic goods, cars, watches. We're all here, and they have massive amounts of this in one go, and you're using it as a reward and a holiday destination, which only means that food, alcohol will also rise with this level of excess too. So you have all the problems of community, understanding the routine, navigating social situations, getting new friends, going on dates. You've got all the stuff that everyone else gets, but you've also got almost like a permanent holiday reward and excess mindset, which is hard to take yourself out of, because you have earned it. You've earned being here from the work that you've done before, and therefore you deserve to have some time where you experience this excess. But how much excess? Let's go through the rules of how you can have excess without getting too fat. That was a nice spin. You're gonna need 5 steps to enjoy yourself with excess and get less fat. 1 is CC 80% of the time. So you're gonna be calorie controlled whether you like it or not 80% of the week. because this is the good balancing act of you not gaining fat but having a nice time. It's about balance, and about 80% calorie controlled is the right way. That might be Monday to Friday, weekends a little bit more extra. That might be Tuesday, Thursday being 20% and the rest being calorie controlled, but there has to be a payoff. Number 2 is you need rules. Everyone has their own rules in life. I don't drink after 7 p.m. on a Tuesday. I only drink on weekends. I only have takeaway once every month. I have to get 12,000 steps in before I do the rest of my drinking, for example. We all need rules. When you come here out of excess, out of reward, when you're on holiday, there are no rules. And this is why it carries on for 4 to 6 months, why people gain their weight, because they don't have rules to live by. They're living in a playground with no rules. So it's simply setting things up that you will align with, that you'll hold yourself to majority of the time. My rules that I like to go with is Monday to Friday, no booze. Unless it's a special occasion, it's quite simply, that's it, hard and fast. 2 is that I must train 4 days per week. That's my rule. And it doesn't matter when it is, when it's not, I will make that back up. Number 3 is mains, no dessert. I can go out for dinner and I can have a really nice time, but I'm not gonna get dessert unless it's cheesecake, and that's therefore my only thing that I like to have. And my other rule that I like to go with is you gotta earn it. So earn the flexibility. So that's gotta be back up around, earn the flexibility, which is taking this and saying, did you do this? Because if you didn't do the earning and you didn't do the 80% calorie controlled, you don't deserve to kind of be indulgent. And that's really a rule that you have to put on yourself, normally after you're sick and fed up with the weight gain that you've made. And this is coming from some guy who did the exact opposite of what I'm trying to teach you right now. When I first came over 7 years ago, I got super fat. Number 3, and the last rule that I want to give yourself is give yourself a time limit. Give yourself a time limit to have the excess, to enjoy, to be on that perma holiday. But after that date, when it dots over the line of the 10th of never or the 10th of July, that's when you take shit seriously and you then start moving in the right direction with your fitness and give yourself a time frame. The problem is that Dubai doesn't stop when you get here. There's brunches, there's reasons every single time. And if you don't have rules to navigate yourself, if you don't stay 80% calorie controlled, and most importantly, if there's never a time to start or take it more seriously, this loop just revolves around. And I've seen people gain 20 kilos, 30 kilos, and then they don't want to go to the beach. Then they don't want to do all the fun stuff. Then they can't get in the dress that they want to go to that nice restaurant. They get limited about their Dubai experience because they're too scared to go out because they gain too much weight. You don't want to do that. So set a deadline, give yourself the time. I'd recommend just giving yourself 30 days when you get here. And on the 31st day or the 1st, come and have a chat with me, get you signed up, and let's move in the right direction with your nutrition and training. Or anyone else, obviously. But that's it. Don't get the Dubai stone. If you're thinking about moving to Dubai and you're worried about that fat gain, or equally you're in Dubai and that's happened to you and you want to get the fat off, you can just go down to our description. We help South Asians and Indian individuals across the world, either VIP-wise within Dubai itself, or actually across the world, US, UK, 30 different countries. All you have to do is click the link below, book a call with our team, and we can get you started. South Asian and Indian specific coaching all the way through. And if you've enjoyed this video, watch this one above. It's with one of our clients, Ramesh. He talks about his journey, the way that he changed his life, the way that he was able to drop over 15-20 kilos to get in amazing shape. Check it out.